నిమిషం.
Yeah, good morning students. Today we discussed about Java variables. So in this Java variables, first of all we discussed about what is a variable, how many types of variables available in Java, how we declare a variable, what is the syntax of variable, what is the difference between various types of variables. So first of all we discussed about what is a variable. A variable is a named memory location used to store a data value. Means whenever we perform some operation, for that purpose we need to declare one type of value. So that value is located in memory location, so that memory location, that value is assigned to one variable, that is called variable. For example, int a equal to 10 means in this I am declaring the value, data value as 10, that is pointing by the variable name called a, and the 10 is the type integer. In Java we declare a variable in different ways. The syntax is data type followed by variable name. This is the one way. Or data type then declare the same type of variables, means same data type of the variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, like this. Or directly you assign the value also, data type followed by variable name equal to value, or data type space variable name equal to value, comma variable name 2 equal to value, 3 equal to value, like this we are declaring the values. Or these are the different ways we declare a variable. Now in Java there are 4 types of variables we declared. One is local variable, another one is global variable, which are also called instance variables or member variables. Third one is static variables or class variables, and last one is called final variables. What is local variable? A variable declared inside a method or block of code. Means within the block, you may declaring within the method or within a block, that is called local variables. Because these local variable scope is visible within that method only, and that lifetime is expired when that the block or the method is end. That is the reason it is called as local variable. That life is visible within that method only or within that block only. For example, here we are declaring like this. In this case, here I am declaring like public void display. So in this display method I am declaring the one new variable called int b equal to 20. So means that b value is available within this method once the display method is starts and the display method is end. Same thing like I am declaring the another local variable called a, it will be declared inside the show method. So means after show method, the show method is ended, that a lifetime is expired. That is the reason in display method I am declaring a also, please observe here, but its life is already expired within this show method. So that is the reason it displays an error. Please observe, because its life already ended inside this show method only, it is not expanded to display method. So this life is up to that method only, that is called local variable. This is the main method, and I am calling that the show method and display method through object. Second one is instance variable or member variable or global variable. So a variable declared inside a class and outside any method or constructor or block are known as instance variable or member variable. Why we are using the term member variable or instance variable? Because these variables are applicable for an object. That is the reason which are called instance variable, because an instance of a class called object. That is the reason it is called instance variable or member variable, because these variables are the members of that objects only. That is the reason it is called member variables. These variables are visible to all the methods. That is the reason it is called global variables. We called instance variables, member variables, and also global variables. The changes made to these variables by method affects all the methods in the class. So for these instance variables, each copy is created separately for each object. Means you declare like this one variable like int a equal to 10 or int a. Later you declare two objects, object 1 and object 2. Now object 1 dot a equal to 10, object 2 dot a equal to 20. Now two copies are created. Means for object 1 it is creating the separate copy, object 2 it is creating the separate copy. So like this two copies are created. Like each object, how many objects you created, according to that many copies are created individually. That is called instance variable or local variable. Then coming to the examples, please observe here. Here I am declaring int x equal to 100. This int x equal to 100 declared inside the class and all outside the methods or functions. So this is called instance variables. We are not declaring any keyword like a instance or global. Just simply declared inside the class and outside the methods. So now initially I am declaring x value equal to 100. Later in show method it will be incremented x equal to x plus 100. Now x value equal to 200. Now that same value it is reflected in display method also. Here I am declaring like this. Inside the display method x equal to. So like this the instance variables it will be creating the each copy for each object, and that copy is reflected to all methods. That is called instance variable. Then coming to the static variable or class variable. What is called static variable? A static variable is a variable that declared using static keyword. That is the reason it is called static variable. Okay. Then what is called class variable? Because these variables are declared by using class name. Please remember, we are using the keyword for declaration of the variable. We are using the keyword static. But while you assign the value, at that time you declare the class name. So the instance variables can be static variables but not local. So static variables are initialized only once, and at the start of the program it will be executed, and the static variables only has one copy for entire class irrespective of the how many objects you created. Means only one copy is created. Means you are having one class, then you create it will be creating one copy. In your class you may declaring 5 objects, then it is not creating 5 objects or 5 copies. Only for each class it is creating only one copy. That copy is used by all the methods. That is the reason it is called class variables. And these static variables is accessed by class name. So please observe the example, then you will easily understand. So in this case I am declaring that instance variable, static variable also. That static variable how we are declared? We are using the keyword as static followed by data type variable name. This is called static variable. Now this static variable is accessed by using class name. What is the class name we are using? Static variables example. Now please observe here static variables example dot z. That z is the static variable name. This static variable name is accessed by using the class name. Class name dot variable name equal to some value. Like this we declared static variables or class variables. And finally last type is called final variable. Final variable is a variable that declared using final keyword. So many times we use the term final. Final means there is no alternative, there is no another one. That is the reason it is called final. Same thing like here, what the variable you declared, that value is final. Once you declare that the value, that value is final. It is like a constant variable. Once you declare that variable is final. There is no further declaration or modifications. If there is modification, you are not using the term final. Once you are using the term final, this is the final value. So the final variable is initialized only once and does not allow any method to change its value again. Okay. So please observe here. Here I am declaring that the final variable, final int a equal to 10. So later, please observe here I am trying to change a equal to 10. Initially you declared 10. Now I am declaring a equal to 20. No, it is not given the permission to you. Because that variable you declared final. So like this in Java there are 5 variables are there. 4 variables are there.